welcome back to the Fluffy Biscuits podcast. I am one of your hosts, Nazir TL, otherwise known as Jacob, and I am here accompanied by Pixelated Trash, otherwise known as Zach. He is...
And I want to talk about child marriage.
No. You'll have to forgive him. He is on super Benadryl because he has allergies from working in the yard yesterday.
I am very hopped up. I didn't mean to be.
Well, I would like to... Zach asked me before we started recording about my stream yesterday. So I thought it'd be interesting to go
Why don't we
ahead
actually... Hold on, just to really, bring them in. Why don't we, reenact... Okay. Hey, Jacob, I saw you were streaming Pokemon yesterday. What's that all about?
Oh. Well, I was doing a Soul Link Pokemon. Do you know what that is, Zach?
I actually don't, and you didn't describe it to me when we talked earlier, so please explain.
So a Soul Link Pokemon, it is a Nuzlocke, but it's where two people play through the same game, right? And so on every route, the Pokemon are essentially linked. So my starter, Spiel, is linked with his Weedle. If either of them dies in either game, it dies in the other game too.
Okay.
So every time I lose a Pokemon, he has to lose the same Pokemon. And if he catches a Pokemon on a route
you can't
for his Nuzlocke encounter, if I don't catch it, then he has to release it immediately.
Oh, I see. Okay. But a Nuzlocke, one of the things I know about it is that each area you go into, you can only catch the first Pokemon you find.
Yeah, that's what also makes it harder.
Yeah.
And then there's level caps, so you don't over level. We
you'll
aren't
have
going
to stay around the same level. Is that what that's about?
For each gym. So the level cap for the first gym was 15. We couldn't go above level 15 before we beat the first gym.
Yeah.
And added to all of this, I randomized both of the games. So the Pokemon are just whatever you get. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. I got you.
So
you have you're using an actual ROM hack, randomizer?
Not a ROM hack. Super Game Boy randomized on our saves.
So yeah, I know, but yes, okay, I know what you're talking about because I have a couple of those too. They're great.
Yeah, just the randomizer. It's pretty good because I started off with a Spiel, which is a good ice type. Ice types I think are pretty decent. And then one of the last Pokemon we caught, I got a Bagon, which it'll eventually evolve into a Salamence, which is a pseudo-legendary, and it's a dragon
I've never
type.
heard of these Pokemon for some reason. Well, I've never played Black or White,
Emerald.
So...
It's not
Emerald?
Black or White.
What
it's from Hoenn.
A Bagon? How do you spell that? I need to look this up.
Bagon.
Whoops.
I named him Bacon.
Oh, yeah, this. Okay, I know this. I never knew its name for some reason, but I do know this Pokemon. And and it turns into the shell gone, and then I do know this Pokemon. Yeah. Salamence is really cool. I always thought wasn't the story behind Salamence a bunch of people basically complained that there wasn't a Charizard anymore, and everybody wanted that big strong dragon thingy, because Dragonite kind of filled that role, but then never really, and so did Gyarados.
Well, Charizard was never a dragon.
No, he wasn't. Actually, ironically, he was never a dragon type. He was flying and fire.
Yeah. So I think Salamence sort of fit that niche. It's we're going to actually put in another dragon type here. It was also insanely hard to get, right? But
although
dragon types
Charizard,
are so strong.
If you terraform him or X-form him, whatever it's called, he does become a dragon type, ironically.
Well, that's way after this game. So.
Well, no shit. I'm just saying. Also, is that a Sunkist? Is that a Diet Sunkist?
Yeah, it is. I didn't buy it. It's just in my house, so I'm drinking it.
Oh God, people are breaking into your house and leaving you Diet Sun-Kissed.
No.
What's next? Big Red? Grapico? We may never know.
But this is a really good Pokemon for my run, and Josh threatens to kill it every time. Every time. Because Dragon type is OP. It only has like 2 weaknesses. Or 1 weakness, actually. I forget what it is, but it's not easy to find.
Do you know what Palworld taught me, though, actually?
What?
Every single Pokemon has 1 weakness. Guns. Thank you.
Yeah.
Turns out that even if you are Dragonite or Charizard, a gun kind of just does it.
It's true. It's true. But
you know,
anyway,
that's something you never see. Where's my R-rated Pokemon? Where, like, people are like, oh, Jesus Christ, we're being invaded. We gotta do something about them. Like fucking samurai swords going straight through the chest of a Routes.
But I would like to say the Soul Link is good, but it almost came to an end last night when I encountered a Metagross, which is a steel psychic type, I think.
I don't know what that is either. I gotta making me Google.
It's one of the coolest Pokemon, and I had no Pokemon that were good against it. I just had the hope it didn't kill my team. I'm the only one that's actually killed Pokemon.
Okay, I know this one too. I just don't know the names of any of these motherfuckers, but I do know this one.
I'm the only one who's like actually lost Pokemon in battles. Josh just has to deal with it. So, but yeah, there's a lot of interesting gaming news recently.
Oh, and by the way, if you're interested in that Nuzlocke run, you can find it at twitch.tv/NazirTL.
Some more news of the gaming industry is that I think
didn't
Microsoft
talk about
shut
Hades
down.
2 at all.
That's
You
all
just
I
said
wanted
it's
to say.
coming out.
No, I said it came out. And I said all I wanted to say. I said streamers played it for a day, and then they got off of it.
Oh, okay. So you're saying like, I wonder what were its reviews though?
I think it's good. I think people think it's good. I think they were just paid to play it for a day.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Microsoft is shutting down multiple game studios that they own, including a game studio that made The Evil
Hi-Fi
Within.
Rush. Oh, the game studio that made Hi-Fi Rush is also going to get shut down, which is wild to me.
Yeah, like The Evil Within is a great game. I don't know why they chose to close all these studios down, but then again, I don't think Microsoft should own gaming
Every
studios.
fucking game studio in the world.
I think they should like do their own stuff and actually work on their computer side and just like outsource to game studios for exclusives.
Hold on. Am I stupid? Isn't The Evil Within made by a former Resident Evil developer?
Yeah, I think so.
Let me see. Built by Tango Gameworks. Okay, who runs Tango Gameworks?
It's Shinji Mikami.
Oh, Tango Gameworks actually did make Hi-Fi Rush too. My bad. I didn't know they made it. Let's see. He directed the first installment of the Resident Evil series and the first installment of the Dino Crisis series, both survival horror games. He returned to Resident Evil to direct the remake of the first game in 2002 and the third-person shooter Resident Evil 4. 2006, he directed his final Capcom game, God Hand. Oh, that game was terrible, but that's cool. Oh, then he went to Platinum Games, made Vanquish. That's a good game. I like that. And then I gotcha. Hell yeah.
Moving on. I know.
I apologize. This Benadryl's got me kind of... I'm very talkative, but not about anything specific.
The Warhammer game or tabletop. I know you've probably heard of it, or you know the lore, don't you?
Like, yeah, off and on.
All their miniatures are getting another price hike because they weren't expensive enough. I don't know if you've ever looked into Warhammer miniatures, but it's like, geez, please just lower your prices.
How do you know like a percentage, like how much they're being raised by?
Um, three like 3 to 5%, which isn't like a. It's not. It doesn't sound like a ton, but it's a lot when you think about how expensive they already are.
Yeah, because this is an article from 2 days ago on Yahoo that's saying in 2022 the price increase happened, which caused a 5% across the board, with books, scenery, and resin minis rising as much as 10%, and metal miniatures rising a whopping 20%.
Yeah. Yep.
Then 2023 had a
Games
rise was an average of 6% for plastic miniatures, and another rise for resin miniatures. So yeah, it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. That's wild.
There, obviously, Warhammer has these different sets of miniatures. One set usually costs around like $50,
Yeah.
and it could either have like a medium-sized miniature or like maybe 5 little miniatures, and I just think that's absurd.
Yeah. No, I feel that. It's wild. I've never been able to get. I've never been a fan of tabletop games like that. I like D&D, but beyond that, when it comes to like the miniatures and the gadgets and all that, I'm not. I've never been invested. I like the concept of them. Some of them are really cool looking. You know what I mean? But like
Yeah.
in general, it's like I'd rather just play pen and paper, honestly. Which I mean,
Yeah,
you
like
can't with Warhammer though. That's kind of the point. You know what I mean? So that's why
yeah,
their
they
price
also
hikes are
attacked
so.
all of the like the 3D printing websites that were making like off-brand Warhammer miniatures.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it would cost like a few cents to
I
print
mean,
a
that's what I'm
Warhammer
saying. Like a
miniature.
lot of, I have friends who just kind of bootleg 3D print their own shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I
it's
mean,
like,
I have a 3D printer literally right down there.
I know. I'm just saying, it's like they just 3D print their own shit, and it's so much cheaper. I can't get over the Diet Sunkist. I don't know why. I know it's the Benadryl, but God, it is just really funny to me.
You're hyperfixating on it
How
because
about
of your
how about a
Benadryl
Fresca?
and ADHD.
How about a Fresca? You gonna get the next thing you're gonna bring? You gonna bring some squirt to the table?
No, I have some Sundrop though.
Oh, I like Sundrop. Do you like Cheerwine?
No.
Really? Are you
Yeah, everyone in my
allowed to
friend
not
group
like
likes.
Cheerland where you live? I don't think that's legal.
Yeah, I am because it's a bad soda.
Man, I gotta make some calls actually real fast.
New D&D rules that are coming out are going to be under the Creative Commons license, which will be really nice.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what the Creative Commons license is? Because I only have a vague idea of what it is.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you need me to like break it down for you?
Just a very short,
Okay. Creative Commons license means that basically anything you create using their concept is still your own intellectual right.
I like that. I like that.
So basically,
I also set our YouTube videos to Creative Commons whenever we put them up there. That way, they can get clipped and put out everywhere.
Yeah, that's the same concept. So it's like basically like for a great example is all the thousands of podcasts that are like actual plays. The reason that those are allowed to make money is Creative Commons like license.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's nice to see that they're not hogging a bunch of money. However, I am very sad.
Well, don't forget they have tried twice to do that. It literally people keep like coming, they like clapping back, and then they decide not to. They've tried several times to not only cancel the Creative Commons license, but at some points to claim certain creations of the Common license. They just can't do it
the D&D people?
Wizards of the Coast, yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't like Wizards of the Coast, but I think the D&D like group is its own thing. Of course, they answer them, but I think they're all pretty fed up with Hasbro.
That would make sense.
stuff
But
like
yeah,
that.
they have tried several times to cancel D&D's like Creative Commons license. In fact, they've announced, I think, once at some point within the last couple of years that they were going to, and then there was so much backlash that they were just like, oh, God, okay. You can keep your money, I guess.
Well, this is another big news thing that came out. So obviously you're not the biggest fan of Helldivers, but I assume you've seen like a little bit here and there. Just like
You know what's
in
really
passing.
funny? I actually beat the first Helldivers, but it's so dramatically different than Helldivers 2. But
Yeah.
I know, so I know I actually know a good bit of the lore, but I haven't never played Helldivers 2, and I've only seen one stream of it that lasted like an hour.
Well, so bear with me. I'm gonna explain this whole ordeal. So it's made by Sony and it comes out, right? It comes out, it's it's on PC, it's on PlayStation, whatever.
Oh, I know what you're talking about now, but keep going.
Okay. So when it comes out, you have the option to link your Sony account, your PSN account, or not to. But then they also state, like, in the future it'll be mandatory. They did state this. This was stated at the beginning.
Yeah.
But it didn't sink in what that meant until it was like a few, like maybe a month before it, like, was about to kick in. And when it did, basically there's all these places, these countries that sold Helldivers 2 on Steam. Some of them, if not like a good majority of them, you can't make a PlayStation account. So it was going to force all these people that bought this game, right, and was like, hey, you can play it, but you won't be able to in the future. It's like it's $40, $60, something like that.
Yeah.
It was just going to kick them all off because they can't make a PlayStation account. And so one of the managers, actually, not manager, I don't know exactly what his position is, like at Sony.
Probably.
But he actually
CFO.
said review bomb Helldivers 2 to make them change their mind. And literally the whole community, it took it from, I think, what's the overwhelmingly positive, like overall reviews? It gave it in a single like day pretty much more negative reviews than it had positive reviews. And so it literally gave it like 250,000 negative reviews.
Now, real fast, can I interject?
Yeah, what?
Because I've heard an alternative opinion on that.
Okay.
I have heard that the team behind Helldivers had an incentive of quite a lot of money. And that incentive kicked in if they maintained a certain review score over a certain period of time. That period of time ended right a couple of days after Sony made their PlayStation account mandatory. Then they got review bombed by an executive of Sony. And so essentially a lot of people, not a lot, of course, and of course this is all hearsay, but some people are believing perhaps Sony did this to prevent having to pay out a very significant amount of incentive money.
I can see that. Another idea is that because there's so many players on Steam for Helldivers, Helldivers 2, they wanted to make PlayStation in general, like the console and the company, look better to shareholders by having like a surplus of PlayStation accounts made.
That's fair.
All under the guise it's for like security and stuff. And it's like, if it was for anything actually needed, you would have done it first thing, Like you wouldn't have let us play it for 6 months without having to make it. At least that's what I think.
You know what's really funny too, though, if you actually like look into it, it's only a small dividend, but the PC version is actually like better received. Like it has better reviews on like like overall like a Metacritic and stuff.
Yeah, I do love how Helldivers 2 is, because it's like Super Earth, they're the bad guys.
Yeah.
But everyone's like, for democracy. I'm like, I'm pretty sure Super Earth is just imperialism.
I
They're
didn't know
like,
this,
there's
but
aliens. We're gonna kill them before they kill us.
I didn't know this,
They
but
didn't do anything.
the company that makes Helldivers 2, right? They actually made
Yeah.
that terrible reboot of Gauntlet, the video game, in
I don't know
2014.
what that is.
You've never played any of the Gauntlets, like even the early Gauntlets?
No.
Oh man, Gauntlet was a fantastic game. I played it in arcades, but it was like it was like an 80s 90s arcade game. It was like hack and slash kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like a beat 'em up. Yeah. It was really good though, and some of like the later ones were actually really fun. I had Gauntlet 4 on the Genesis. That's the one I had that I liked so much.
It seems like a game I would play, so I can understand why you're surprised I haven't.
But they made a terrible reboot of it in 2014. I was like, I didn't recognize their name, but I was like, what else have they made? And it's like, oh, that. Ooh, that. They made Magicka too, but I swear there was sequels to Magicka, and they didn't make any of them.
There was like Magicka multiplayer and stuff like that.
A sequel, Magicka 2, was announced, blah, blah, blah. It was released in May 2015, but who made it? Instead of being developed by... The title was developed by Pisces Interactive. Okay. Never heard of them. That's okay.
Other than what we just spoke about, I don't think there's any other news. I will say I think I'm going to try and play Honkai Star Rail for the gacha aspect.
I was going to say, that's free to play, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, if you want to try and play it, you should. We play it together.
I have no idea if I want to, but what I do want to do is look at how horny the characters are. Yep, they're pretty horny. Okay, I imagine that was going to be like.
Let's see here. What's your favorite Pokemon? I was wondering this last night. That's not Scyther. You can't just say Scyther because you know it's in your
But
head.
Scyther is my favorite Pokemon. Well, my second favorite Pokemon would be Onix.
Really?
Yeah, I really like
Why
Steelix too.
Okay.
Because here's the thing. I learned at a very young age, any Pokemon is a good Pokemon if you just grind them. You know what I mean? So what happened with me as a kid playing Pokemon, and what I still do to this day, is I find a Pokemon that I think is really cool looking, or like really interesting looking, and then I grind them until they're so overpowered that it doesn't matter that they suck. My other favorites would be Routes and all its evolutions. Gardevoir, I think, is its final evolution. And also Scyther's evolution is really cool, or his like
Scizor.
Yeah. And let me think. Oh, I don't know what he's called. I called him. I named him Budorf in my fucking game.
Oh, you like Bidoof?
No. He's not named like that. I named him. No, I didn't name him Budorf. What did I name him? I named him like Boof Master or something like that. And I forget what he's fucking called though. But he's a Vikavolt, I think is what the Pokemon's called.
I don't know what that is. Is that Sun and Moon?
I don't know. For me, it was in Sword
it's the
and...
zebra?
What?
No, it's a bug.
Yeah.
Okay. What's
But
the
yeah,
zebra one?
I have no idea. But no, I had it in Sword or Shield, and then I had it in not Lavender.
Striker.
What's it fucking called? What's the new one called? Goddamn, not Lavender.
Scarlet
Violet. There we go.
True. I like they're not my favorites, but I like all the evolutions, which is a very generic answer.
They are really cool though. It's a lot of fun collecting them all.
Yeah, I like specifically Umbreon and Espeon, because I played Pokemon Coliseum as a kid at a very young age, and you start out with those two. I always thought that was cool.
I feel you.
I think, in a weird way, I'm drawn to all the normal type Pokemons. Pokemon. I don't know why. I think a lot of them look derpy, and I love it.
Yeah, I feel that. Sorry, the Benadryl hit for a second, and I kind of zoned out. I heard you, but then I thought I was responding, and I was not responding.
That's fine. I do want to do a Soul Link with you.
I never knew you thought that way about me, Jacob.
Well, chill. But we should definitely do one of the newer ones, like one of the ones that you played, because a lot of the
I wouldn't have a way
I know
to
you played the older
stream
ones.
the new ones, like the Switch ones.
Well, we're not gonna stream the Switch.
Oh,
I mean, because you said you did like Sun and Moon.
mm-hmm.
We could do
Ultra Sun.
We could do possibly maybe an X or Y or something. I don't know. We can do something like that.
That's fair. I'm more of a Y guy myself.
We can it could even be one of the DS ones. I just don't want the rules to be too different, because typings and stuff change throughout the generations. I want to make sure that you remember as much as you can, because one of the things that I'm finding out is that while I know what's good against each other, like the typing charts, I don't remember what any of the types are for some of these Pokemon. Sometimes I have to look at them and I'm like, huh, well, that looks like it has some rock in its color palette.
That might be a rock.
Yeah. Looks at Geodude. Is this a rock?
Geodude. Geo. Man, you know what? Pokemon fucking nailed it when they were like, hey. They just say their name.
Yeah.
What noise does a Geodude make? He says, Geodude. What noise does Pikachu make? Pika! It's just like, great. We figured it out. But then you get fucking Gyarados. He never says Gyarados.
He says Gya.
Ah.
Did you hear Josh's Scyther impression last night?
No, I was probably asleep by then.
He nailed it. He nailed it, because someone in the chat was like, Scyther sounds cute. And I was like, Scyther sounds cute? I'm like, I don't even remember how Scyther sounds. What do you mean? And then Josh did it like bar for bar. And I'm like, you doing that made me remember like exactly how it sounded. That's how good it was.
That's pretty cool then. Unfortunately, I was long asleep by then.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to like put that on a soundboard, because I downloaded the VOD. I'm just gonna start playing it. What games have you said you got the new Gran Turismo?
I did. Ooh, I love it. I love it. It didn't get great reviews. They're in the 80s, but not great reviews. But man, I will say this to anybody who is a Gran Turismo fan. If you thought sport sucked, because it did, this is the Gran Turismo you thought sport was going to be. Well, so, do you know anything about like the development, why sport was like weird and stuff?
I don't know anything about Gran Turismo, but like the basic stuff, like how it's really good, like simulator.
Yeah. Kind of so, Gran Turismo 6 came out on the PS3. Gran Turismo 7 was renamed Gran Turismo Sport as a reboot of the series. The concept was that instead of the normal career mode, where you worked your way through like licenses and you unlocked the ability to buy new cars and you earned all the credits to do it, this would just be basically like you race through cups, you earn money, and you buy cars, and that's it. So there was no like career mode to it. There was no progression. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody hated that. And so Gran Turismo 7 came around and was like, we're really sorry. We're trying again. Here you go. Here's the real Gran Turismo 7. And I mean, it is. It's just Gran Turismo. It's like the whole thing about Gran Turismo, one of its best features is that it has such an in-depth car. Did you know I'm like a big car guy? I know I don't give that vibe off, but
I figured it, but I'm not.
big,
So
I'm big into cars. It lets you literally customize everything, like down to fucking how many spark plugs you have. You know what I mean? It's like you can customize everything about your car. You can, of course, color it and design it, of course, but like even like down into the engine and stuff. And it's really, really good. Like, and it's really, really cool. So it's like if you want a car, like let's say you got like a Mustang, you want to overcharge it, you can actually reduce things to make it accelerate faster and increase things to make it speed up slower so it can reach a higher top speed. You see what I'm saying?
yeah, there's only like 2 vehicles that I actually want. One is a K truck because it looks derpy and I love it. Right?
Is that made by the people who made the K car?
Yeah, I think so. It's a Japanese mini truck, but it's very neat. In the newer versions, you can do like all these mods to it. And then the Subaru WRX. Those are the only 2 cars I want, or have like I want to go out and get one of those one day. And the K trucks aren't hard to get. They're like super cheap.
They're not similar to a K car at all. My bad. But no, yeah, I've definitely heard of these, but no, I was thinking something completely different.
They're very cheap. You can, they're cheaper than most cars. There's actually a place.
Well, I can tell because they're like half a fucking car.
There's a place that I've seen around here that just has a bunch of them in their lot, and I'm like, how'd you get all those K trucks?
It's like, I hope they're not fucking. I hope they're not too fucking expensive because they're half a fucking car.
Well, I think the truck bed is actually a decent size. A lot of people with like motorcycles,
people say that in bed I'm also a
motorcycle
decent
into the
size.
back.
That joke's gonna come through better in recording. I said when I'm in bed, people also tell me I'm a decent size.
Damn. That's fucked up. What's this?
It's not true at all, though. I got a micro cock. Which is also not true.
Fuck?
I'm on a lot of Benadryl. Although there's probably one of our most entertaining episodes.
I'll probably censor some of this.
That's okay. I won't know it. You'll just put it out, and you'll be like, title it. I'll be like, all right. To be honest with you, I do listen to our episodes, but generally speaking, you could probably get away once or twice with just completely editing all, not even putting my audio in. And I might just
cut everything and just make all of your answers something from previous episodes.
That wouldn't be hard. I talk about the same shit pretty much every week. But no, so I'm playing Gran Turismo 7. Sorry, long tangent there. Playing Gran Turismo 7. I'm really into that. I'm playing NHL 24, which isn't exciting, this hockey game. And then I'm playing Elix 2 still, the little Euro jank RPG that I've been playing. Let's see. I recently replayed or played and beat Disgaea 5. That was a great game. That was a lot of fun. I've heard that the new ones are even better, but I don't have them. So, oh, and I'm playing Death End ReZero, which is like a isekai game, kind of like Dot
Wait
Hack.
a second. Death End ReZero.
Yeah. I think it's based on an
Steam?
anime. I should be, probably.
I think I love the anime. It's based on a web novel, too.
Let me see. Death End.
Is the main character Subaru?
No. Well, see, okay. No. That's why I'm saying... No, it's sorry. Oh, hold on.
It's Request, isn't it?
Yeah, Request. That's right.
Okay. Because
I'm mixing up.
ReZero does
No,
have a game.
yeah. I actually really like the anime ReZero. No, this is called Death End Request. Um, I'm playing the first one, not the second one, but it's just an isekai game. Um, getting getting shot into a virtual world, but it's really cool because your character isn't trapped. You're helping someone who's trapped, right?
Yeah.
So you enter the game and you leave it. And then when you leave the game in the real world, you do like exploration and investigation to try to figure out how this girl got trapped in there and like free her. That's the whole point.
Okay, wait.
So it's not something like Sword Art Online where everybody's just trapped in there. It's like you're not trapped and a lot of the other players aren't trapped. Just she's trapped.
All right, I need a brief moment. I need to express a thought about ReZero, okay?
Oh, okay.
So, I've talked... I've made many people watch this. A lot of people that I've like made watch ReZero really enjoy it. But some people are like, I don't understand how like the people around him just deal with him because he seems like a loser and he kind of is like weird.
Yeah.
And I need to throw this out here because you've seen ReZero, right? Or a little bit, you know of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
My girlfriend's best friend, he loves that show, so he talks about it a lot.
So like, okay, for people who haven't, minor spoiler, his ability is every time he dies, he goes back to like a specific point and he can relive it. And over and over. It's not by choice. It's just what happens to him. And he got isekai in this world. So the whole story is like literally him getting broke down piece by piece, like mentally and physically, because he just keeps dying over and over. But he progresses through like, this timeline or whatever, basically essentially fucking up like hundreds of times until he gets it perfect, and then it like almost moves on to another chapter of this event. And everyone's like, all the show is like this, blah blah blah, he seems like a loser, why is anyone putting up with him? But I don't think they're thinking it from like a the perspective of the people in the world, because they don't know he's dying and reliving all this. So in their eyes, they just see this dude that's wearing strange clothes show up and he just knows everything. Like every time something bad happens, he knows about it before it happens and stops it. That's how like all these people are. I think a lot of the people that don't like it don't take that into account.
I feel that.
It also has a ton of, like, because it's a web novel or a web comic or whatever, so it has a bunch of spin-off series, like what ifs, because, there's a lot of different paths the main character could go down.
Yeah.
I think one of the what ifs is at a certain point, he loses his memories, and he gets them back. General good guy stuff. One of the what ifs, I think, is he goes around and he takes out, like, kills all the people that knew who he was before instead of getting his memories back.
Yeah.
And then he sort of becomes like this evil person after basically sorting through their dying memories, being like, oh, well, I guess this is who I used to be, so I'll take a little bit of that back with me. I don't know, it's kind of insane. I enjoy it.
I feel you. No, some isekai things are, I mean, not to be insulting, but just kind of bogus. Like, they're just kind of nothing. But I've always thought ReZero has a good story. I mean, I thought Sword Art Online actually was pretty good. It was pretty generic, but I think it was only kind of generic because it kind of started the popularity of the genre. You know what I mean? Like, there weren't many isekais before, like, Sword Art Online and all them started coming out. So,
I think Sword Art could have been great if they didn't skip a lot of the like main selling point of it.
That's fair.
But I will say their third season, I think, Alicization was amazing. I think that's the best season that it had.
I'll say this. as a kid, and I mean, I guess like most weebs growing up, I was big into harem animes, but not harems where it was just like perverted stuff, like harems where it was just one guy with like a bunch of like women, I guess. Not necessarily like the sex or like romance kind of thing. But I was always really into Infinite Stratos, Sekirei, um what's it called? The Rosario Vampire, and what was the other one? Oh, I forget what it was
High
called.
School
Damn.
DxD.
No, I never liked that one.
That one got too pervy for me.
Yeah, that's the thing is like I had to find a good middle ground because like High School DxD, that dude is just like a mega pervert the whole show, and it's like to me it was just really annoying.
Whereas, not so fun
like,
fact about that. I think the English voice actor for it was actually like a not good guy. I don't want to say it because it might get our thing censored.
Was it Vic Mananya or whatever his name?
Don't say what he did out loud, but you can say his name and then people can Google him.
That's what I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see if that's who it was. Let me see. High School DxD episodes. Okay, that didn't help me out at all, did it? No. Well, I was just trying to find the goddamn character's name. Blah, 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 blah. I'm trying to figure.
I'm not sure.
Let's see. Let me see real fast. Hold on. High School DxD IMDb. TV series. Thanks. Now show me the cast. Cast. What's the main character's name?
Issei Hyodo.
Issei Hyodo?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I don't know.
You are correct. It is not Vic Manania, but his name is Scott Freeman. Give him a Google.
Yeah, give him a Google. Yeah, okay.
Not great. I actually have never heard of this man, and I'm very taken aback at the moment. For anybody who also wants to know, he was in Hitalia, Psychopaths, B Gotta HK, Baka and Test, A Certain Magical Index, and We Without Wings, and Borderland. Yeah.
What? Dead Man Wonderland.
He
was in a lot, I think.
Eden of the East. But no, he was actually he was in the video game Borderlands, the pre-sequel. That's all I was saying.
Oh. Well, yeah. I know the other anime you're talking about. That's not my genre. I don't like that genre.
I feel ya.
I don't think it's bad. There is definitely a line. Some of my friends really enjoy like the more High School DxD version of it. Yeah. I don't. I'm like, that's not for me.
Oh, he was in Sekirei too. That's really funny because I was just talking about that.
I want another cyberpunk anime.
I agree. There aren't enough good ones. I think that like one that really nailed it is Psychopaths. Honestly, it's more dystopian than cyberpunk, right? But like, I think Psychopaths really nailed it, which again is funny because he's in that too.
I was actually talking about the actual cyberpunk anime.
Oh, you mean like cyberpunk, like the series?
Well, I agree with the in general the genre. I think another great one would be amazing. Psychopaths was amazing, but yeah, a few years ago when the cyberpunk Netflix anime came out, I think that was top tier.
I feel that.
It'd be interesting if it came out with a second season, which I think that studio's made like known for only doing one-off, so it's very highly unlikely.
Well, it got a follow-up video game. Wait.
Oh, you mean
yeah, I'm talking about Psychopath. Sorry, you're talking about Cyberpunk.
I'm talking about Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
But in the beginning of that, the main character David, he's taken, or he's, what's that thing called? It's like a video, you put it in your neck and you see everything, like you live through it.
Yeah, I don't remember it, but I know what you're talking about.
You see through it, whatever, you like reliving memories of someone before they like die or whatever. It'd be interesting if, because it's set up to where there could be a second season when he gets captured by a certain person and he's like forced to see different worlds that he's like programming or whatever, or like, what happens. It would be interesting if like a season 2 comes out and it's like the whole later half of the first season was sort of like a what if. Like, this is going to happen if you go down this route, and then season 2 comes out and it ends completely different. Like, there's a good ending. Because it definitely ended on like a somber note, I think.
I feel that, yeah. So you're saying you wish we had more Cyberpunk, the anime.
Yeah. But, again, Psycho Pass is great. A good anime in that genre would be amazing.
Also, if anybody's curious, Scott Freeman is still registered for his crimes. And if you look him up, you'll understand what I mean by that. Currently living in Grove, Oklahoma. Jacob will cut that, I'm sure.
Did you, I don't know if you've seen it. You were asleep. I know you could see the northern lights here in Virginia. Like the Aurora Borealis last night.
No, I couldn't, because I'm here.
I know. I said, well, I think it could go as far as Alabama. Because people in Florida can see it.
Oh. No, I didn't see it. Damn. I missed it.
So you, like, if you go out tonight, because it's going to happen again tonight, you might be able to see it.
Well, I am a smoker, so I do go out sometimes for cigarettes.
I do indeed partake in outdoor activities. I'll try and get a picture of it.
I gotcha. If you do, we'll have to pop it up here on the screen for everybody if we manage to snap a shot, as the kids say.
Definitely. Have you heard of...
The word?
No, Sukajan.
Do you know what the word is?
The bird.
Burp. No, I'm just kidding.
Do you know Sukajan jackets? I'm probably fucking up that name.
It sounds like you're like a foreign person who blew a guy named John, and you're like, yeah, Sukajan.
Sukajan. No, those.
Visit site. It's telling me the link may be dangerous. Oh, God. I mean, these are cool. I like how it says save $100 and it's still $150.
Well, yeah, they're not made to like buy online. They're one of those jackets that I think it's called a souvenir jacket. I'm pretty sure that's what Sukajan means, but I'm probably wrong. It's one of those things where, like, if you go to Japan,
they're actually called a strategically designed Sukajan souvenir jacket, is what it's called.
Yes. It's one of those things you get when you, like, leave Japan or, like, you visit to sort of remember it. Remember your trip. I think they're really cool because they're not, like, printed designs. They're embroidered, which is really nice.
Yeah, I can see. I mean, they look really nice. It's just they're expensive as hell.
Yeah. I don't know. I would get one, I think, but I wouldn't get one. It would have to look really epic for me to actually order one and not get one actually in Japan. You know what I mean? Like, it would have to, like, catch my eye and be like, I need it.
Yeah, I feel that. Oh, they do sell just t-shirts.
Yeah, they do.
They're also expensive as hell.
They're also embroidered, which is...
I don't care. It's expensive as hell.
Well, embroidery, it's not going to, like, the print's not going to fade and stuff.
If I wanted fucking embroidery, I'd let Mallory do it. Jesus.
All right. I'm not gonna diss Mallory's embroidery skills, but I mean, you
Oh
look
no,
at
she
the-
couldn't. No, she told me the first time she can't do this. I'm just kidding, but it's just they're so expensive. Their hoodies are $65.
Hey man, that's actually not terrible.
I'll go to Kohl's right now and get a hoodie for $2. Not literally, probably like 20, but you get the point.
I don't have a Kohl's near me, so.
I do all my shopping at Kohl's. I do all my shopping at Kohl's and at random like stalls at the flea market where people make stuff. So I got the shirt.
How much
No, wait,
is
this is 5 and below.
a Carhartt hoodie? Just to,
Well, I was
so I have a
elbow
frame of
deep in
reference.
my Carhartt.
Yeah, Carhartt hoodie is like $60. So like in comparison, it's not obscenely
Yeah, but Carhartt
overpriced.
makes like heavy duty workwear, not just like
Well, yeah.
embroidered like shit. Like
That's
I would
true.
expect to pay a lot for a Carhartt because they're like specifically made to like last and be durable and like with like withstand elements and like stuff. So
That's pretty much all. Like the only kind of like shirts I wear is Carhartt. That's the only
I don't
reason
own
I
any kind of name thing like that. Like I just said, all my shopping is at Kohl's.
Well, yeah. Like I don't really. It's not like I go out and get it or anything. It's mainly like from gifts. I just collect them. Especially when it's like on sale near I don't know, any holiday really. That's when I get most of them.
I feel that. Well, you know what I like to get a lot of the times?
Question.
The end of an episode. Thank you all so much for watching. We appreciate you showing up. God, this Benadryl is going to make this difficult. I have been Zach. You can find me at Pixelated Trash on YouTube. You can find Jacob over at NazirTL on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, where he is currently doing his Soul Link with Josh, our mutual friend, his best friend, one of them. And you can find us, if you watch this on YouTube, over at Spotify, the Fluffy Biscuits Podcast. You can find this over on YouTube if you listen on Spotify at the Fluffy Biscuits Podcast. And you can find... Oh, good lord. And you can find us on Twitter at the Fluffy Biscuits Podcast, extra F because the original was taken. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye.